Hi guys, I'm going to make another pinhole camera. I've got a plastic waste bin here. My plan is to put the pinhole in the bottom, put a something straight across here, a screen, but it's going to be a solid screen, not one you can see through, and I'm going to drill a hole in here to poke my camera lens through. So it's a bit sort of backward, but the idea is the camera will look at the screen. So light will go through the pinhole, form an image on the screen, and the camera will look through there at the screen. What I'd like to do eventually is get a picture of the sun, and using a pinhole camera is one of the best ways of doing it, because you don't have any risk then of damaging your camera or your eyes looking at the image. So that's the idea. Pinhole there, bigger hole there for the camera to poke through, and screen across there. There we are, that's the two holes cut. So that's for the camera lens and that's for where the pinhole will go. I'll make the pinhole in a piece of tin plate or tin cut from a Coke can or something. Apparently that's supposed to be good for making the actual pinhole in because it's nice and thin. And then for the screen at the other end, I've cut this bit of, I can't remember what they call it, fiberboard or something. And I'll just tape that to the bottom so that we don't get any light in there. So the idea is the image will be formed on that nice white surface, and then we'll look through the big hole with the camera and see if we can actually take a picture of the image. That's the screen taped to the bottom of the bin, or top of the bin. See it through there. So next, pinhole and camera. If I just move that closer, there we go, that's actually the camera gone through the hole. If I put my finger over the lens, or whatever you want to call it, the pinhole, there you go, so you're actually looking inside the bin at the moment. That looks to me like you can actually see, yeah, we've actually got an image there already, even though that's quite a big hole. That's my hands moving in front of the window. Oh well, we've got a start there already. This is my pinhole that I've just cut from a tin can, drilled a small hole through it. I'm not quite sure what size that is, it looks like about 1mm, and I've actually rubbed it down carefully with a bit of emery paper to make sure there's no rough edges around it. And I shall now either tape this or BluTack it to the top of my pinhole camera. We're ready. It's actually WhiteTack I'm using rather than BluTack. Not that there's any difference, it just happens to be what I've got. So I've put a layer around the hole where the camera lens is going to go, and I've stuck the pinhole in place. So you want to get that into there. The right way round, because otherwise the camera covers the pinhole, and that's not a very good idea. Right, camera's inside the pinhole camera, and the sun is shining behind me. If I wave my hand, yeah, that goes across the lens. see if we can zoom in a bit. So you can see it's pretty cloudy behind. Just trying to move the camera to get into position. The only thing we're not doing is focusing. Let's see if I can change the camera setting to make it focus. Right, I've reset the camera, it should focus. Doesn't look like it's going to though. That's a shame. That is my camera looking at the image of the Pinhole camera, which is looking directly at the sun. It's trying to focus, isn't it? It's really trying. That's not me, that's the camera trying to focus on the image of the sun. Let's pull back a little bit, see if it can do it. I suppose I could try it with just still shot instead of a video shot. Right, I'm back to video mode now, just to see what we get. You can see the clouds moving across the sun. I shall have to put this on the computer and see what it looks like. Zoom in a bit. That's me moving the camera around trying to get the best picture of the sun. The camera's trying to do it itself. Just out of interest, I'll try moving the camera around, see if there's anything else we can see. The answer's not really. I think if I want to see more like a picture of the garden, then I need a bigger hole to let more light in. So that hole's about the right size for looking at the sun, but we need a bigger hole for anything else. Right, we're now looking at the bottom of the bin, and I've got a big hole at the front. It's not even a pinhole, it's about almost 2 centimetres across. So it's pretty fuzzy, isn't it? See if we can make anything out. Not really. So somewhere between the two, I think. Right, we're trying again with a different sized hole. This one's about 3, maybe 4 millimeters across. So I'll try and keep my head out of the picture this time. That's looking behind me at the trees. I think the sun's in the shade at the moment, or in the clouds. If I turn around, what can we see? I don't know if we can see the garden at all, whether that's light enough. I won't really know until I play the video back. I'll just change that pinhole for a larger one again now. Right, that was the pinhole I was using just then. I'll now swap it for this one that's bigger again. So, in the hole again. Again, that looks much brighter again. There's the sun. Obviously everything's upside down. Let's turn around. So, I really don't know if I'm getting anything here at all until I play it back. Carry on round. Right, that'll do. Let's go and have a look. It's definitely not very sharp. Inside my conservatory. So we've got the sunlight coming through the windows. Summary time then. Not quite as successful as I'd hoped, although the general principle's definitely working. Just a quick reminder of what we've got. Got a plastic waste bin with a screen on the end of it, just a bit of white fibre board, I think it is, or chipboard or something like that. At the other end I've drilled 2 holes, a big one to stick my camera lens through and another one to hold the pinhole. And the pinholes that I've made, these are cut from a drinks can. That one's about 1 millimetre, I would think. That one's about, I should think, 3 millimetres, lining them up together. And then that one, let's have a look, about double that again, so probably about 5 or 6 millimetres across. And the pictures that I've taken, I took some just using the hole that's there, which looks about 2 centimetres across. That gave me a nice bright picture, full colour, but very fuzzy. The smallest pinhole only gave me a picture if it was looking directly at the sun, because there's not much light gets through there. And then the other two gave us varying amounts of light. Did it work? It sort of worked. We really didn't get a very sharp picture. Might be able to improve on that by changing the size of the pinhole, maybe even varying the position. Or it may even be an issue with the surface of the screen that I've got in there, because I've done nothing to it. So, not sure. Putting the camera through the hole works. One of my other ideas would be to put a webcam in there so we don't have the hole at all. We've got a webcam inside. So that'd be another option. I think I'll have another go at this at some time, because it shows promise. Not a complete success, but nearly there. Have a look at the video description, because I'll put some links in there. There's certainly a chap who does a lot of these pinhole camera projects, and he's got some very interesting stuff. He's an artist who specialises in pinhole camera work.